on, guys? It's Trevor Plays here. Sorry if my hair looks like a mess. I just took a shower. But here we are, guys, back again with another My Hero Academia review for Season 3. So we are on Episode 9, or 47 in total, called All for One. So within this episode, well, a lot of stuff happens. So instead of me rambling on like I'm doing right now, I'm going to get right into it. So at the beginning of the episode, it starts off with the UA press conference. So we see what is said there and all this other stuff too, because one of the reporters asked if this incident was a worse outcome because a lot of I think it said 26 students were injured and Bakugo's missing. So, that being said, but then Aizawa steps in and says the worst outcome that could have happened was that students died at the training camp. So, sure, maybe 26 got injured, but they're not dead. One is missing. So far, he's not dead. So, that means, yes, the worst outcome could be we could have had a lot of students die at the training camp, but we didn't. So there was that. Next, it led into Principal Nezu then commenting on the sleeping gas that Mustard, produced and stuff. But because of that, he said that how thankful they were that, in the way that he said it, it was that Miss Kendo and Mr. Tetsu for defeating the sleep gas user. And they didn't really say who it was, but I put it in my notes for defeating Mustard. So Nezu commented on that, saying that, we're thankful for some of our students to actually defeat some of the villains, because if not, we would have had a lot more casualties and stuff. So because of that, then we go and see the reporter talk about Bakugo and how he's missing and what has happened to him, leading up until this time. Well, middle school, he was captured and by a powerful villain, and then he still kept on trying to fight back and stuff. Not only that, but then we had the UA Sports Fest. So then, his outbursts and nature of yelling and doing all this stuff that's not hero-esque or whatever. So he said that that's why the villains have taken him and stuff like that. But then Aizawa stands up and bows and says that I will take full responsibility for this, and he knows that Bakugo wants to be a pro hero because since he's 1A's homeroom teacher, he knows the students more than any of the other teachers. So, Aizawa's mindset, he knows that everyone wants to become pro heroes in their own ways, but Bakugo is different because of how I guess boisterous or something. I don't know. Big words, not in my vocabulary. But it's because of how Bakugo acts is why the League of Villains took action into trying to take him. And then they also tried to take Tokoyami because they figured out how his dark shadow is at night and how it could be one hell of a dangerous quirk if he can't control it, and they just sent him off to go do something. So that's why they took Bakugo and Tokoyami, but only ended up succeeding in taking Bakugo. So then after that, it leads into, because since Aizawa said that he knows Bakugo wants to be a top pro hero, it then leads us to Bakugo back at the League of Villains hideout bar where Shigaraki, after standing there for a while talking about, father and the hand and all that, and after he picks it up, Kurogiri tries to stop him because he thinks he's going to use his quirk. So all he does is he puts his hand out like this, puts his hand out like this, and then he tells them, nobody touch him, just whatever you do, don't touch him. And then after that, he says, Master. And then we turn, look at the TV, and then we go through the TV, and we see All for One. And, he makes a little comment there. And then after that, we are now back in the Camino Ward at the Kanagawa Prefecture with, well, I like to call it the Bakugo Rescue Squad, which I'm pretty sure that's probably the actual name that they were given, of Deku, Momo, Shoto, Kirishima, and Ida. So, we see them doing their little thing a little bit, trying to figure out how to get to the League of Villains hideout place, where they're at, trying to figure out how to get into it. And so we see a little comedic effect there, a little bit, and then we also see them try to figure out how to stay out of the way of everybody. So they end up squeezing between a tiny little two walls, squeezing in there. And Momo makes a comment that she might get stuck. Well, it's normal because, yeah, if you know Momo, then yeah, there you go. Then after that, we see all of the pro heroes that are attending the hideout raid, and we see that they split up into two teams. All Might and his group with Endeavor, Ed Shot, Gran Torino, and Komoy Woods. They go with Sukauchi to the actual hideout bar where Shigaraki and everybody is at. Mount Lady, Best Genius, Gang Orca, Tiger. I think that's it. Yeah. All of them go to the other one, and they find out that's where the Nomus are at. And that happens to be where the Bakugo Rescue Squad is. They're at that place. So then we have the intermission transition thing. So it goes through that. And then after that, we see, well, a few minutes later with the Bakugo Rescue Squad, they're at one of the League of Villains hideouts. And that's when they find out that it's the hideout where all the Nomus are at. So Kirishima finds out, freaks out a little bit, then tells Deku to look at it. He looks at it and says, are those all Nomus? And then we cut over to the pro heroes making their move. We get the scene of Shigaraki and all of them at the hideout bar and all that. And the funny way of how they did this was they knocked on the door and said, pizza delivery service or something from the Camino pizza or whatever. And then you just there's a little pause. Bakugo turns around, looks at the door. They're all looking at the door, and then All Might smashes through the wall. And then after that, we have Koimoe Woods. He uses his quirk to restrain everybody. And then Dabi was like, oh, this is made out of wood. I can use my fire. Gran Torino comes up, kicks him in the head. And he has a little shocked face and all that. And that was kind of funny to see Dabi have that kind of reaction. And not only that, but Gran Torino then reveals the Vanguard Action Squad's real names.
I'll be better off if you take us seriously. Kenji Hikiishi, Atsuhiro Sako, Shuichi Iguchi, Himiko Toga, Jin Bubaigawara.
Except for Dabi. He doesn't name off Dabi because they don't know who Dabi is. So he names off everybody else. So we all get to see everyone else's real names, and then after that they are attacked by Nomus. But the thing is, Edshot made Kurogiri go to sleep, so he couldn't use his warp gate. So all these Nomus start coming out of nowhere, and then we find out that 2 minutes earlier, we cut back over to the other pro heroes and the Bakugo, I was about to say Bakugo Action Squad, Bakugo Rescue Squad, and after that we see All for One appear, and he reveals, because Ragdoll was at that place, and Tiger finds her and is holding her, and All for One comes out of the shadows and says she had a good quirk, or she's always had a good quirk and stuff like that, and that he took her quirk. So now we know that Ragdoll is quirkless, and that, well, All for One has her, and what he does is Best Genius tries to restrain him, and he uses some kind of thing and like buffs up and comes back, and it destroys the whole building. And that was the end of the episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this anime review. This episode, I'd have to say, was one of the best, because not only did we see all the pro heroes take action, but we also got to see, well, the main villain, All for One, appear. And now, well, I know that I always do this, but after I say this, guys, I'm going to do my normal outro and stuff. So if you guys stay for the next episode preview, then please stay, watch it. If you don't, then please hit that like button. Comment down below if there's any thoughts that you had of the episode if you've already watched it. And, or if you're a manga reader, say something that doesn't spoil too much for the anime-only watchers. But, that's about it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you have subscribed, then please hit the notification bell. And when you do, click the for all notifications, because if you don't, it'll put it to like the optimized setting, and it'll only or something like that, and it'll only like notify you every once in a while, so it won't give you the actual thing. So I'm Trevor Plays. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you're staying for the next episode preview, then, well, enjoy that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys. See you next time.
Here's the preview. It's the symbol of evil, All for One. We're frozen solid in the face of his terrifying presence, even though Kachan is right in front of us. Next time, symbol of peace. Go beyond. Plus Ultra!